Okay, good afternoon YouTube. Fat Cat Collections back at you today with another fragrance review. And today I want to talk about one by the house of Penhaligons. This is a company out of London, although they do have offices in New York, and they do have distributors out of New York, and this is where my fragrances came from, New York. They are on the niche side of fragrances, so you're going to be spending over $125 for a bottle of their juices. But I will tell you there are some really high quality ingredients, and they really make some high quality juice. Now, the one I want to talk about today is one of the samples that Harry from Penhaligons was nice enough to send me. So Harry, once again, thank you for your generosity. And remember that I would love to review all your fragrances because there's not a lot of fragrance reviews on Penhaligons out there. And I think that you guys make a fantastic product, and I really like to share it with the rest of the world. And this one is no exception to the quality of the fragrance. And this one is called Bayolea, and I believe I'm saying that correctly. Now, Bayolea, let me just tell you what it has in it. I'm going to tell you what they say about it, and let me just show you the packaging first. Again, this is the sample side, the sample packaging, but the bottle will have that logo or that insignia on it, Bayolea. This is an Eau de Toilette concentration, and let's start by just reading you the notes off the website, okay? So, and this one comes from Fragrantica, which is a pretty good source for getting information on these colognes and getting reviews and opinions about them that aren't video reviews, okay? So this one here was launched in 2014, is an aromatic fragrance for men is what they call it. Your top notes are going to be mandarin orange, tangerine, and lemongrass. Your middle notes are cardamom, black pepper, neroli, and lavender. Your base notes are cedar, sandalwood, musk, moss, patchouli, and amber. Now, what do I get from this fragrance? Now, there's not a lot on Fragrantica even on this fragrance. There's only one person who actually compared it to another fragrance, and, you know, one's not enough. One guy said that this fragrance here in 20 minutes is 100% Tom Ford white patchouli, but less long-lasting. Good fragrance, but it's a copy. This person said that the lemongrass comes across as the dominant element, although I beg to differ on that. And let's see, Penhaligons really make knocking them out of the park. So people seem to really like this fragrance. Now, I told you the notes. Let me tell you what they say about it. They say here it opens with a refreshing mandarin and lemongrass, giving way to an invigorating and warming heart of cardamom, black pepper, lavender, and resting on a masculine base of cedar, sandalwood, musk, and moss. Now, to my nose, you'll know that I say in all my reviews that when it comes to cologne reviewing, I am not the best guy out there because I don't feel like my nose is super sensitive to smelling all the ingredients. However, not everybody's nose is the same, so cologne reviews and liking cologne is very subjective. Not everybody likes something different. Not everybody smells things the same. Now that doesn't mean that I don't think this is a great fragrance or a fantastic fragrance. It's just not a fragrance for me. When I smell this fragrance for the very first time, the first thing that comes to mind, and remember, first impressions are usually the right ones. The first note that I get, and a heavy note at that, is neroli. This reminded me of 4711, which also is a Tom Ford. I'm not going to say clone because 4711 was around first, but Tom Ford has been referred to as a clone of 4711. Neroli fragrances generally don't have a lot of staying power and a lot of projection power. When I spray 4711 on my skin, I've went through an eighth of the bottle already. If you're unfamiliar with 4711, it's by Wasser. I shorten that because I always screw up the name. That's it right there. And even Neroli Portofino shares that same gold and kind of turquoise color on their bottle. This I picked up for $6.99 for, I believe this is what, 50 mils? 50 mils? 60 mils. And I gotta tell you, there's real similarities between these two fragrances, although they don't smell exactly alike. And I don't think that one is a clone. I don't think that Bayou is a clone of Neroli Portofino. But Neroli to me is the dominant note in this fragrance with some musk and woods. I do get the lemongrass out of it as well, but when I smell this, I just get a lot of neroli, which, if you like neroli fragrances, is a good thing. And if you do like neroli-based fragrances or neroli fragrances, or fragrances that have neroli is what I'm trying to say, I definitely urge you to check this one out. I wouldn't necessarily go out and, you know, for me, I'm not the kind of guy who spends $125 on a bottle of cologne. That's something I really like, and I would never blind buy a cologne that expensive. So I do urge you, if you are interested in this fragrance because you like neroli or any of the Penhaligons fragrances, get their sample size, the little sprayers that Harry was nice enough to send me. I think you'll really like this if you like a neroli fragrance. And that's the best opinion I can give you and my best recommendation. If you like neroli, definitely check out Bayolea. It has a freshness to it, it has a medicinal quality to it, and I think it's a pretty good fragrance. And I do think the projection and staying power is definitely a lot better, hands down, than 4711. And what they compare that to, probably much better than Tom Ford's Norelli Portofino. Again, that's just my just guesstimate there. I don't know that for a fact, but I can tell you that this one here has been on my arm for about half an hour, and it's projecting pretty darn strong. I can smell it even over the other arm, which I actually sprayed Panda on by Zoologist, which is a heavy musk fragrance. I can still smell this. So that says a lot about the fragrance, because again, in my opinion, Norelli does not last very long. And this, you can definitely still smell it. So maybe it's a combination of the other ingredients in there, but it's a good fragrance. So that was my review and my 2 cents on Bayolea by Penhaligons. Again, a blast of Norelli. So once again, if you like Norelli, definitely check out this fragrance. If you like the videos, go ahead and subscribe to my content. A lot more fragrance reviews coming. I have samples coming from 3 different designers. And what I'm trying to do, or perfumers I should say, and what I'm going to be doing lately is putting up a lot of video reviews on fragrances that you've never heard of. Ones that are very, very small houses that, you know, maybe they set up in, like, you know, perfume shows or craft shows. And there's a lot of fragrances out there. And a lot of these juices are not your mainstream, you know, things you're going to find in Macy's. So, like this stuff, Penhaligons, although they're a big company, they've been around for quite some time. I'm not saying that these guys are the small boys, but I got some new ones coming in the mail that I definitely urge you to subscribe to the channel so you can get my opinion on those. And again, if you haven't watched my other videos, my favorite fragrances are going to be more of the tobacco, the ouds, the woods, the very masculine rose fragrances, the very, very dominant, I guess, very powerful fragrances, and unique fragrances. Now, you know, I have the Calvin Kleins, I have, you know, a lot of the fragrances that probably are, you know, crowd pleasers and a lot of people probably are going to like. They're safe. But I tend to find myself not wearing those fragrances and wearing ones that are going to get attention. Have somebody say, wow, you smell really interesting. And I prefer that over ones that just smell safe and good. So that's just kind of what I'm about. And I do like to keep my budget on colognes is cheapies. I don't mind spending $400 or $500 for a watch, which check out my watch reviews. But when it comes to cologne, I'm really a $20 and under guy. I think there are so many colognes out there. Again, not to say that those colognes are going to be as good as some of these colognes that I'm going to be reviewing, but there's different things out there for everybody. And, you know, I'm not going to say that if I didn't find one, for instance, I absolutely love a designer fragrance by Dior called Sauvage. It's one of the new ones, and that one's on more of the expensive side for what I will budget for cologne, but I am going to pick it up because I like it so much. So, and just to let you know about my favorite cologne right now, as of 2015, my favorite cologne, and even into 2016, my favorite cologne that I have in my collection is Encre Noir by Lalique. So if you like that cologne, maybe we share similar tastes and you might get something from my video. I also urge you to check out Redolescence, Frag Boy Stewie, and a few of those other guys out there like Fragrance Brothers, and they can give you some different opinions on this cologne, because it's always nice to have a little more information before you make the decision to make a purchase. So once again, folks, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave those in the comment section. Remember to find me on Facebook, where we're doing a lot of daily watch posts and daily fragrance posts. That's at Fat Cat Watches. Eventually, I'll be creating a separate site specifically for these colognes where you can go, click, and buy. But that's just in the kind of the design stages right now. But for now, just subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. As always, have a great day.